Hi, Nicole here from Sheba Nails, and I'm really excited to do this tutorial. This is our latest product line that we have. It's called the Dipcrylic system. This is featuring the ever popular dipping powders, and one thing that we love about this system is that there's no UV or LED lamp required. I'm going to go through the products now and then I'll do a quick tutorial. The first product in the system is the Dipcrylic Prep. This is a nail dehydrator that prepares the nail for nail application. It's excellent to prevent lifting and to make sure that your nails stay on in between fills. Next, we have our Dipcrylic base and Dipcrylic powders. These are formulated to work together to be able to build up the layers of the nail depending on the thickness of the nail that you want to achieve, or if you're using the colored Dipcrylic powders, the intensity of the color that you would like. So the Dipcrylic powders are really finely sifted powders that work specifically for the Dipcrylic base so that you make sure that you don't have a nice smooth surface. You won't need any filing at the end. You simply have to buff and shape the nail. Next, we have our Dipcrylic Activator. This will instantly dry or cure your Dipcrylic nail after you've used the base and powder, so that it's ready to just buff and seal. This eliminates the need for having to use a UV or LED lamp. And the final step in our system is the Dipcrylic top. This will seal the nail to a shiny, shiny finish. So to begin all of my clients' nail services, I like to use a good disinfectant sanitizer. This product is not included in the kit, but I do encourage this step. It does prepare the nails for really all types of application. It removes the natural oils from the nails and it really does prevent lifting. I use this not only on my nails, but I use it on my clients' nails as well before I begin any nail service. So the first step is the preparation of the nail. If you're using this on a nail tip, or you can use it on the natural nail. Either way, you want to go ahead and rough up the surface. If you're using a natural nail, maybe use a nail buffer or a 240 grit file. If you're using a nail tip, make sure that you rough up the entire nail tip as well, including the sidewalls and near the cuticle area. One important step as well is make sure that you push back the cuticle area all the way around. If you have any base or powder that is touching any of the skin or any of the overgrown cuticle area, it can cause lifting. So we're going to be using the first step in our system, and this is the Dipcrylic Prep. So after you went ahead and prepared and filed the nail, you're going to go ahead and brush the prep on. Get as close as you possible to the skin without touching it. About 1/8 of an inch of the way is good, and as you can see, it really does dry very, very fast, and you're ready for your next step. The next step is our Dipcrylic base and powder application. So the base is applied to the entire nail, starting at the cuticle area, but don't get on the skin. Simply brush a very, very thin layer onto the nail, and then immediately start sprinkling the powder onto the nail area. You want good coverage, so pay special attention to the cuticle area, the sidewalls, as well as the tip of the nail. Be generous because you're going to be tapping off any excess after. So now you're going to go ahead and repeat that step using the Dipcrylic base and the powder. So at this point, you'll see that when you're applying it, you want to gently cover the area. You don't want to press real hard onto the powder. Just keep dipping and applying the nail. When you're using colors, I find sometimes the powder can get onto the brush, so you want to go ahead and just wipe it on the surface before reinserting it into the bottle. So just like that, make sure again that you get very close to the cuticle area without touching the skin. That. And then go ahead and sprinkle it again. Now at this point, a lot of people like to dip the nail into the powder, and you can do that. You can do whichever one you find easier for you. I prefer this method of sprinkling on. I feel like it gives a smoother surface. So at the end of my layers, there's less buffing to to do. Tap off the excess, and at this point you can apply another layer. If you think that you're happy with the color, you can just use 2 layers. Sometimes if you have really long nails, you want to build up the layers for more strength. I'm happy with this shade, so I'm just going to do just the 2 layers of the powder. So you're going to go ahead and apply your base in the same manner as before, gently brushing it on. Almost kind of tap it and then brush, just like that. The way you're not pulling the powder over the nail surface. Just like that, all over the cuticles. Real close, but not touching the skin. Just like that. If you do find that you have touched the cuticle at all, before you do your next step with the activator, you might want to clean that off, just like that. Okay, and then you're going to go in with your Dipcrylic Activator, and about 5 to 6 inches away from the nail, so you won't see me, I'm going to be off camera here. You're just going to give it 1 spray. So with just the 1 spray of the Dipcrylic Activator, that's all you need to cure or dry the surface instantly of the nail. So the next step would just be to go ahead and shape and buff or smooth out the nail if you need to. As you can see, it is pretty smooth, but if you feel that there's any lumps or you want to do a different shape, now is your chance to go ahead and do that. So I recommend to not really break the layers of the surface of the nail. Using a 240, maybe even a 180 grit file would be just fine, depending on exactly, you know, what you need to smooth on the nail. So you can, if you want, go ahead and file the surface just like that. Remember, these are layers of powder, so be gentle so that you don't break down the layers and go down to the clear nail if you have put clear powder underneath. So once you went ahead and smoothed out the surface of the nail and shaped it to however you like it to be, you can even just buff it a little bit to get an extra smooth surface before doing the final step. So I'm using a really soft grit buffer here. Then you're going to go ahead and do the final step, which is the Dipcrylic top. Now this is a sealer that has a really, really shiny finish, and it really protects the nail from the elements. So you're going to go ahead and apply this to the entire nail surface. You can actually do this step 2 times for additional protection to the nail. I only do it once, but we do have some people that like to apply 2 coats. And I go ahead and apply that to the entire nail surface. So our Dipcrylic top, like I said, is the final step. Well, one of the things besides how great this leaves a shine to the nail is that it dries really, really fast. And for me, that is important. So once you've gone ahead and applied 1 layer, like I said, some people like to apply 2 layers of the Dipcrylic top. You're all done with the nail. What I like to do to the end of my service, although this is not included in our kit and is optional, is I like to put a nice cuticle oil. This is our botanical oil, our sweet apple, and I put that all around the cuticle to soften that up and give a nice final step to my nails. And it's that easy to make beautiful nails with our Dipcrylic system. I hope that you enjoyed watching our tutorial on a Dipcrylic system. Please visit our website to see all the colors that we have to offer. It's a great no chipping system that can be used on artificial and natural nails as well.